Hello students, now we are going to discuss about the next topic of the chapter human health and disease, that is immunity. Yes, what is the immunity? Immunity is the ability of the living organisms, specifically if we are discussing about the human beings, ability of the body to recognize the foreign particles that is entering inside the body and then help to kill or remove that pathogens from the body, because we are living in an environment from where a number of pathogens can enter into our body and cause a number of diseases. So definitely our body will develop a special mechanism to identify those pathogens which are entering from outside, and then they will cause the infections. So our body produce special type of cells or special type of mechanism for the identification of those foreign particles, and then for the removal and for the killing them. This ability to kill or to recognize the pathogens and to kill them or remove them from the body is known as the immunity. And the special branch where we are going to study about the natural defense mechanism of the human body, then how it will recognize the pathogens, what type of particles or cells it is going to be produced, and how the killing of the microbes will take place. That special branch is known as immunology. Okay, so we are going to discuss about the immunity. There are two type of immunity. First is innate immunity, second is acquired immunity. Innate immunity is also known as inborn immunity, that we get by birth. That means whenever any organism will produce, if we are discussing about the human beings, if any organism will produce at that time, it the organism will have some special type of cells that they get from their parents. So those cells of the immunity will provide the protection against the disease. So this type of immunity that we get by birth is known as innate immunity, or second is acquired immunity, the immunity that is developed after the birth. Yes, when we comes in contact with the pathogens, at that time our body learn how what type of proteins or cells will be produced to kill that pathogens. So after the birth, when our body is producing special type of cells against the special pathogens, this is known as the acquired immunity. That is why I have written here after birth. Second is the innate immunity is non-specific in nature. Non-specific in nature, yes. Any type of pathogen, either bacteria, virus, protozoans, helminthes, any type of particles, if it is going to be enter into human body, this innate immunity will be generated. That means it is not for specific pathogen. It will be produced against all type of pathogens. That is why it is known as non-specific immunity. But acquired immunity is specific in nature. That means acquired immunity will develop with the help of the antibodies, and that special type of antibodies will be produced against the specific type of pathogens. It means acquired immunity is specific in nature. Okay, so if we are going to discuss these immunities in detail one by one, first is innate immunity. Innate immunity, that is by birth. That means our body have developed a special type of mechanisms to avoid the pathogens or to kill them. So innate immunity covers four type of barriers, and that will provide a special defense system to our body. These are physical barrier, physiological barriers, cellular barriers, and the cytokine barriers. So we will discuss one by one. First is the physical barrier. Yes, physical barrier includes the outermost covering protection. So it will include the skin and the mucous membrane. So firstly we will discuss about the skin. As you know, our whole body is covered by the skin, and body's outermost covering, which is hard outer layer, that is made up of hard structure that is contain the dead keratin and known as the stratum corneum. Yes, skin's outermost hard dead covering is known as the stratum corneum because it is waterproof and germ proof. It is the first line defense that will comes in contact with the pathogens. That means whenever any pathogen going to be enter into the human body, it has to cover the skin only. First is the skin, then only it will reach inside. So this is the first line of defense. After that, mucous membrane is there. Mucous membrane, our digestive tract, respiratory tract and urinogenital tract is covered by a special membrane that is known as the mucous membrane. This mucous membrane will release a special fluid that is known as the mucus. Yes, this mucus will trap the pathogens and remove them. So this is also provide the protection, mucous membrane. So physical barriers include the skin and the mucous membrane. Second, the physiological barriers. Physiological barriers, yes, it includes all the secretions that are produced by the, if any pathogen will cover the physical barrier, then it will enter inside the body. So whenever it will pass through the specific parts of the body, there is a special defense mechanism to kill the pathogens that is going to be enter inside the body, and that special parts will release the special secretions. Yes, first is the skin. Skin have two types of gland: sebaceous gland which release the oil, and sudoriferous glands that release the sweat. Yes, this sweat contain the lactic acid, lysozymes, fatty acids that will maintain the acidic conditions in the skin. Okay, and this acidic condition will prevent the growth of the many of the bacteria or other pathogens. So after that, second is the saliva. Yes, saliva that will release by the salivary glands, and this saliva contains a special enzyme that is known as the lysozyme, and lysozyme have the antibacterial activity. That means it will kill the pathogens. That pathogens will enter with the help of water or food. Third is the gut secretion. If any of the pathogen that will escape through the saliva or through the lysozyme, it will enter into the gut, and our gut also have the special secretion. That means digestive tract is covered by the mucous membrane that will release the mucus, and that mucus will trap the pathogens. And the second is the, in our stomach, gastric juice is there that will contain a number of proteolytic enzymes and the hydrochloric acid. Hydrochloric acid will maintain the acidic condition in the stomach that will provide the protection against the pathogens, because so many type of pathogens are there that cannot survive in the acidic conditions. Next is the tears. Yes, tears are released by a gland that are found released by the lacrimal gland. Yes, I can write here also, lacrimal gland, and these tears have the same enzyme that is known as the lysozymes. So any of the pathogen, because our eyes are in direct contact with the environment, so it is possible so many type of pathogens try to enter through the eyes also. At that time our lacrimal gland will release the secretion that contain in a lysozyme, or those lysozymes that will trap that pathogens and then flush away all those pathogens outside. After that, cerumen is there, that is also known as the earwax, which is bitter or brownish color substance released by the ceruminous glands. It also have the antibacterial activity to kill the pathogens, because pathogens can be entered through the ear also. So this is the physiological barriers. After that, next is the cytokine barriers. Cytokines barriers, yes, it includes the low molecular weight proteins. Yeah, low molecular weight proteins, and it specifically release these proteins against the virus. So what would happen if any virus will attack on any of the cells of the body? That cell definitely will die because it is infected with the virus, and at the same time it is not possible for the infected cells to kill that virus, but that infected cells will release some interferons. That interferons will give message to the neighboring cells, and that neighboring cells will try to develop the defense mechanism against that virus. So I have written here, infected cells will release the interferons, and these interferons give message to the neighboring cells to take protection against that virus. Number that, next is the cellular barriers, which will include a number of cells. Number of cells, yes, our body will release a number of the cells like the WBC, macrophages, monocytes, and WBC also white blood cells like the T cells, and natural killer cells also there, that is known as the neutrophils. So whenever any pathogen will enter inside the body, natural killer cells that are neutrophils will try to attack on the first time. Yes, neutrophils are, that is why they are known as the natural killer cells. So, and these are non-specific in nature, because whenever any type of pathogen will enter, they will not release against the specific. They will, neutrophils will attack on all type of pathogens that are going to be entering inside the body. Secondly, we will see the monocytes. Yes, monocytes, that are, all these cells will produce definitely in the bone marrow. Then monocytes are released that are immature macrophages, but they are also trapping the small pathogens. Then these are going to be mature and form the macrophages, and macrophages can attack the number of pathogens. They can go perform a number of processes like opsonization, by which they are releasing the opsine, and they can also engulf the pathogens. But so many types, sometimes pathogens can enter inside these macrophages also. That is why some exceptions are also there, like in the case of AIDS. Yes, that will occur due to the HIV virus. This HIV virus can enter into the macrophages and then can multiply over there. Same in the case of the TB. Yes, Mycobacterium tuberculosis will enter into the macrophages that multiply over there. So they can recognize and kill the pathogens, but if any of the pathogens can enter in these macrophages or these cells, they are unable to fight with those pathogens. At that time, they are the storehouse of those pathogens. So these are the some cells that can provide protection to the body. So it will include the innate immunity. Then after we are saying that acquired immunity. Acquired immunity after birth will take place. It is specific in nature, so it will take place with the help of special type of proteins. Thank you. Okay students, now after discussing about the innate immunity, that was the inborn immunity, now we will discuss about the acquired immunity. As I have told you, acquired immunity is the immunity that is developed in an organism when the organism will comes in contact with the pathogens after the birth. So after the birth, a number of pathogens will try to enter into the human body, and human body will recognize that pathogens and against that produce the specific type of cells to kill them. So acquired immunity is specific in nature. That means it will kill the specific pathogens. So in the acquired immunity, you must know the two terms, that one is antigen and second is the antibody. Yes, the pathogen, that is like the bacteria, virus, protozoans, helminthes, fungus, that is enter into the human body to affect its normal working, or it will cause the malfunctioning also and cause the infections also. That is known as the antigen. So I have mentioned here the foreign matter that is enter into the body is known as the antigen, and against that antigen, the special type of cells that is produced by our body is known as the antibody. So antibody is proteinous in nature. Yes, it is made up of proteins, and scientifically we'll see antibody is also known as immunoglobulin, because it is a cell of immunity and globulin means proteins. So there are different type of antibodies that is produced by the human body, and immunoglobulin A, immunoglobulin M, immunoglobulin E, immunoglobulin G, and immunoglobulin D. These are the 5 type of antibodies which will produce the against the specific type of pathogens or antigens, we can say. Antigen and antibody both have the special type of complement system. That means when they are come in contact with each other, they will fit like lock and key hypothesis. So antibody are made up of peptide chain. Yes, there are 4 peptide chains. That is why name has been given H2L2. That means it is made of 2 heavy chains and 2 light chains. So I have drawn the diagram here of the antibody, where blue color will indicate the heavy chain and green color chain will show the light chain. So this blue is part is known as the heavy chain. So 1 and 2 heavy chains and 2 light chain. This part is known as the antigen binding site, when contain and functional structure that is known as the NS3, that is the ammonia. If we, and these both the chains, heavy chain and light chains, are attached together by the disulfide bonds. If we will see the both the, if we will see heavy chain is made up of two part, variable region and the constant region. Yes, variable region, this is the part that is known as the variable region because it will change its structure according to the pathogen. So, and this part that is known as the heavy chain, it will be fixed, or that part is known as the constant region. In the constant region, that is connected to the COOH. Further, this part is attached with the complement system. Yes, when any of the pathogen, will bind on the antibody, it will make the antigen antibody complex. So at that time, this constant region will be active, and then it will bind with the complement system, and that complement system will be responsible for killing of the specific pathogens. Yes, it will cause the opsonization, it will cause the inflammation, it will cause the rupturing of the pathogens also. So complement system is also there, that will perform a very useful function. So after that, we can say what type of cells are present in the body in the acquired immunity. Yes, in the acquired immunity, there are mainly two type of cells, B cells and T cells. Why this name has been given? Yes, B cells, all type B cells, if you see, all the cells of the immunity will form inside the bone marrow. But question is where they will be mature. Yes, the cells that is formed in the bone marrow and mature in the bone marrow is known as the B cells or B lymphocytes. But the cells which is formed in the bone marrow but mature in the thymus, then it is known as the T cells. So these are mature in bone marrow and these are mature in the thymus. So the B cells that will provide the antigen, these B cells when comes in contact with the pathogens, they will produce the antibodies, and that antibodies will kill the pathogens. So these B cells will provide the antibody mediated immune system where antibodies are killing the specific type of pathogens. So, and T cells will provide the CMIS, that means cell mediated immune system. Yes, these also, but here mainly T cells are involved. So B cells are further classified into two categories, plasma B cells and memory B cells. What is the difference between these two cells? Plasma B cells. Plasma B cells are the cells that whenever the antigen will enter in the body, so these plasma B cells first time interact with the pathogens, try to identify the nature of the pathogens and how it will be killed. So plasma B cells are the cells that first times comes in contact with the antigen. At that time, when plasma cells are interacting with the antigen, second is the memory B cells, which will keep the memory which will maintain the memory of the specific antibody. What does it mean? Yes, which antibody will kill what type of pathogen will be memorized only by the memory B cells. After that, T cells that will provide the CMSI immunity. It is further classified into TC, TH and TS. TC means cytotoxic T cells. These are release a special type of chemical that is known as perforin. This perforin will cause the rupturing of the cells. TH that means helper T cells. These T cells directly cannot kill the pathogens, but they will stimulate the B cells to produce the antibody and to kill that antigen. And third is the TS. TS means suppressor T cells. Yes, suppressor T cells. During have you noticed that during the transplantation, like the kidney transplantation, cornea transplantation, bone marrow transplantation, whenever transplantation is going on, the organ of the another body of one body is transferred into another body. At that time, the immunity of the person should be lower down, and that lowering of the immunity will done only by the suppressor T cells. It is very necessary to suppress the immunity at that time, otherwise the immunity of the body will identify that organ as the foreign material and then reject that we can say graft. So during the transplantation, whenever any organ is going to be transplanted, that is known as the graft, it should be necessary to suppress the immunity, otherwise that immunity will reject the graft or the organ and kill that organ, we can say destroy that organ also. So this is all about the acquired immunity. Thank you. Hello students, after discussing about the immunity, now we are going to discuss the immune system in the human body. Yes, immune system in the human body is consist of lymphoid organs, cells, tissues and the soluble proteins that are antibodies. So all these things or all these parts will make the immune systems of the human body. So we will discuss the lymphoid organs. Yes, lymphoid organs is the site where lymphocytes formed, mature and proliferate. So where lymphocytes are the cells of the immune system which will recognize the antigens or the foreign particles that are going to enter into the human body and then interact with them. So lymphoid systems is divided into lymphoid organs divided into two parts: primary lymphoid organ and the secondary lymphoid organ. Primary lymphoid organ is the site where the immune cells or the we can say lymphocytes are formed and mature is known as the primary lymphoid organ, and secondary lymphoid organ are the organs where there will be the interaction of the antigens with the lymphocytes. Yes, immune cells will interact with the antigens to kill them or to remove them from the body is known as the secondary lymphoid organs. Primary lymphoid organs include the bone marrow and thymus. So we will discuss about these. Bone marrow. Yes, the bone marrow is found in the flat bones. Flat bones, yes, like the humerus, like the sternum and the femur. So these are the known as the flat bones. Second, bone marrow is the site where the B cells will formed and mature also. So on the basis of maturity, name has been given to the cells. So B cells are the cells which will formed inside the bone marrow and mature inside the bone marrow. Second is the thymus. Thymus is a lobed organ that is found in the chest. Yes, inside the chest near the heart, in the thoracic cavity. So thymus is a lobed organ, and the cells which will mature inside the thymus is known as T cells. T cells are formed inside the bone marrow, but these will mature inside the thymus. That is why the name has been given as the T cells. So firstly they are in the immature form and then they will be mature or proliferated to fight or to interact with the antigens. Now secondary lymphoid organ, I have told you the secondary lymphoid organs are the organs where the interaction of the lymphocytes with the antigens will take place. So that is known as secondary lymphoid organ. It includes first spleen. Spleen is a bean shaped organ. Yes, that will filter the blood. Filter the blood. Why? Because spleen will filter the microbes or the pathogens from the blood. That is why it is known as the filter. Spleen consists of lymphocytes and phagocytes that will filter the blood and then they will kill the pathogens also. And spleen is also known as the graveyard of the body also, where the RBCs will be destroyed. Next is the lymph node. Yes, lymph node is the part of lymphatic system. As you know, lymphatic system is made up of the lymphatic capillaries, lymphatic vessels and the lymphatic nodes, that is known as the lymph node, where the blood, where we can say lymph will be filtered, and you know lymph mainly contain the lymphocytes. So these lymph nodes, small solid structures present along with the lymphatic system all over the body, and lymph node mainly filter the antigens from the lymph. Okay. Next is the MALT. Yes, MALT is mucosal associated lymphoid tissue, as the name indicated by the short form only. Mucosal associated lymphoid tissue. Yes, it consists of the lymphoid tissue, because I have told mucosal associated lymphoid tissue. So lymphoid tissue of the respiratory tract, digestive tract, urinary tract, it is present over there, and it will release the mucus, and that mucus will trap the pathogens. Next is GALT. Yes, like the MALT, gut associated lymphoid tissue. I can write here also if you will see. Yes, GALT. As the name, gut associated lymphoid tissue, where the lymphoid tissue is present in the gut part and it will trap the pathogens. So this is all about the immune system of the body. Thank you, beta.